Trump and Musk both Putin's puppets?
No puppet, no puppet.
Trump acts like Putin's ventriloquist dummy. It was Trump's mouth moving, but those were Putin's words coming out of it when Trump lied about who started the war in Ukraine and falsely smeared President Zelenskyy as an unpopular dictator.
A dictator without elections.
I don't want to think where Putin's hand was while this dummy was talking. 3 key facts. Number 1. Russia's grooming of Trump goes back so far and is so deep I can barely scratch the surface. But here is an abbreviated timeline. 1990s to 2000s. As Putin is rising to power in Russia, Trump is falling apart with a series of disastrous bankruptcies.
There was a homeless person sitting right outside of Trump Tower. I remember my father pointing to him and saying, you know, that guy has $8 billion more than me, because he was in such extreme debt at that point.
American banks won't touch Trump, so Russia steps in. Russia's Bayrock Group leases 2 floors in Trump Tower, where Trump lives, and invests in Trump projects. And Russian oligarchs start buying up Trump condos. Remember, Russian oligarchs are basically Putin's capos. There's no major movement of Russian money that isn't tied to Putin. 2006. Here's where it starts getting weirder. Using a shell company, Paul Manafort buys a condo in Trump Tower for more than $3.6 million in cash. At the time, Manafort is working to help elect a Putin puppet in Ukraine, Viktor Yanukovych. So Trump is being financially backed and physically surrounded by Russian operatives at this point. 2008. Even with Russian money, Trump is very bad at business, so he's on the brink of more business failures. Suddenly, a Russian oligarch buys a Palm Beach mansion from Trump for $95 million, more than double what Trump paid for it, and more than $30 million higher than its appraised value. The oligarch apparently never moves in. Was he even worse at business than Trump? Or was this an emergency cash infusion to Trump from Russia? Later that year, Don Jr. tells a real estate conference, Russians make up a pretty disproportionate cross-section of a lot of our assets. We see a lot of money pouring in from Russia. 2013. A Russian oligarch pays Trump nearly $20 million to bring the Miss Universe pageant to Moscow. Before going, Trump posts a tweet begging Putin to be his new best friend. There are unconfirmed reports that during this trip, Putin obtains a compromising video of Trump in his Moscow hotel room. Summer 2015. Trump launches his presidential campaign, and Russia launches thousands of fake social media accounts to promote Trump. Russia also hacks the DNC. March 2016. Guess who joins the Trump campaign? Paul Manafort, the guy who helped install a Putin puppet in Ukraine. He'd later be promoted to campaign chair.
So to be clear, Mr. Trump has no financial relationships with any Russian oligarchs.
That's what he said. That's what I said. That's obviously what our position is.
And guess what else? He agrees to work for no money, which begs the question, was Manafort really working for the Trump campaign? Or was he working on the campaign for someone else? Later, Manafort begins providing Russia with internal Trump campaign information, as documented in the Mueller report. July 18th, Republicans kick off their convention. And here's one of the craziest parts of the story. Normally, a presidential campaign is super hands-on about the party platform. But Team Trump reportedly had only one demand for the GOP platform.
They took away the part of the platform calling for provision of lethal weapons to Ukraine to defend themselves. Why is that a good idea?
Look, you know, I have my own ideas.
July 27th, Trump publicly calls for Russia to interfere in the election.
Russia, if you're listening, I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails.
That same day, Russia begins trying to hack Hillary Clinton's personal servers. And throughout the campaign, Trump parrots Putin's talking points on NATO and Ukraine, denying Russia's invasion of Ukrainian Crimea, which had already occurred, in the same way he now seems to be denying Russia's further invasion of Ukraine.
I tell you straight and clearly, there are no Russian troops in Ukraine.
He's not going to go into Ukraine. You can mark it down, you can put it down, you can take it anywhere you want.
He's already there, isn't he?
Okay.
In people's minds and hearts, Crimea always has been and is now a part of Russia.
The people of Crimea, from what I've heard, would rather be with Russia.
There is no more Warsaw Pact, neither the USSR. Why would they need it?
I think NATO may be obsolete.
Retired intelligence officials like former acting CIA Director Mike Morell start sounding alarms that Trump seems to be working for Putin.
I have no doubt that Putin thinks that he's an unwitting agent of the Russian Federation.
The Mueller report reveals that the Trump campaign had over 200 contacts with Russian operatives. More than half a dozen Trump associates would be convicted or plead guilty to crimes as a result of the Mueller investigation. And in the lead up to the 2024 election, Russia continues to work to divide Americans, spread pro-Trump disinformation, and even finance right-wing influencers. Number 2. In his first term, Trump actively advanced Putin's interests in more ways than I can get into. But one of the most meaningful was a side effect of his trying to bully President Zelenskyy into giving him a personal political favor. Trump tried to withhold about $400 million of security aid for Ukraine unless Zelenskyy would fabricate an investigation into the Bidens. This was illegal, as determined by the Government Accountability Office, and was why Trump got impeached the first time. And while the aid ultimately got through, delaying it weakened Ukraine and strengthened Russia. Number 3, Putin's also got his hooks in Elon Musk.
People like sometimes like to end this war. Say like I'm a bought asset of Putin. Yeah. I'm like, he can't afford me.
Well, maybe Musk's on sale because he and Putin have been in regular contact since at least 2022. Musk has parroted Putin's talking points about Ukraine and actively undercut Ukraine's war effort by blocking access to his Starlink satellites. And Putin seems to be returning the favor with investments in Musk. He most recently just ordered a major Russian bank to partner with Musk. Some people think Musk, the richest man in the world, is the one with the real power in this White House, and that Trump is the number 2. But if they're both in Putin's thrall, Trump might just be the number 3 in this geopolitical power throuple. I'm Alan Piper at apiper13 and Piperama. Follow Courier Newsroom for the info you need on the Putin-Musk-Trump White House.
Marco Rubio really doesn't want you to see this video that proves MAGA is lying when they say the United States doesn't owe Ukraine anything. Definitely don't repost it, and definitely don't watch it till the very end.
When the Soviet Union fell in the early 1990s, Ukraine was left with the world's 3rd largest stockpile of tactical nuclear weapons and strategic nuclear weapons on the planet. But they signed this agreement with the United States and Russia. They said, if you give up your nuclear weapons, we, these countries that signed to this, will provide for your defense. And so Ukraine did that. They gave up these weapons. Well, now, 20 years later, one of the countries that signed that agreement hasn't just not provided for their defense, they actually invaded them. And I want to make a point on this for a second. Think about if you're one of these other countries around the world right now that feels threatened by your neighbors. And the United States and the rest of the world are going to you and saying, listen, don't develop nuclear weapons. We will protect you. What kind of lesson do you think this instance sends to them? I think the message this is sending to many nations around the world is perhaps we can no longer count on the security promises made by the free world.
First posted its list, we found problems with all 5 of the 5 largest contracts. The largest savings that DOGE claimed to have made on its initial list was an $8 billion savings from a contract cut at the Department of Homeland Security. When we looked at that, we realized the actual number was 8 million, 1/1000th of the claim that they had made. DOGE responded by saying, well, it was an error in the federal contracting system, but they should have known better. And the reason they should have known better is that this contract, this supposed $8 billion contract, came from ICE. Its entire budget is $8 billion. Going down the list, the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th largest savings on DOGE's original list were all basically the same error. What they did was triple count the same cancellation, all with the U.S. Agency for International Development. And what contracting experts told us was it wouldn't have been right if they just counted it once. That's because this contract had been out there for a long time, a lot of the work had already been done, so much of the money that had been allotted initially had been spent. The 5th largest savings on DOGE's initial wall of receipts was $232 million they said they saved by canceling a contract that the Social Security Administration had. When we looked into that, we realized that there was a cut there, but it was only $560,000. So after we and other news outlets wrote about these major errors, the DOGE site was updated quietly to remove all of those top 5 claims. But its new version contains other errors. The new largest savings was a $1.9 billion savings. But when we looked into that, we realized the contract they were talking about had actually been canceled last year under President Biden. And when you look a little further down the list, you see that DOGE is claiming credit for contracts that expired even before Joe Biden was president. In one case, the Department of Homeland Security is claiming it saved tens of millions of dollars by canceling a contract that actually ended in 2005 when George W. Bush was president.
DOGE did not exist 2 years ago. 19-year-olds were not raiding the Treasury 2 years ago. People who have no idea with medical background have not been hauling in and creating kangaroo courts for scientists to dismiss them 2 years ago. That started happening now. Elon Musk is not a scientist. He is not an engineer. He is a billionaire con man with a lot of money. He does not have this kind of good background. And in fact, while there's some disruption over that, I sincerely ask you all to examine what expertise he has in approving medical devices, in biomedical engineering devices. And if you all think that he is an expert in that, I've got a bridge to nowhere to sell you.
It's time for the Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. Trucker John Livestream, come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John Livestream, it's gonna be a good time, gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well, yeah, it's the Trucker John Livestream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John Livestream is the best thing you've ever seen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John. Can you guys hear me? Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Probably no sound, huh? I didn't see. Could you guys hear me? Could you guys hear me? All right, guys. Let me know if you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Finally. There I go again. I did not turn my... that was my fault. That was on me. I didn't turn the mic on. Basically, I was just saying hello and giving you the weather report. I was talking about the opening. So I don't know if I start over again or not, and now I can't scroll to the top. It won't let me scroll. I did say I was singing happy birthday to Nick Rich, by the way. I did get a happy birthday song to Nick Rich. So happy birthday to Nick Rich. Now I don't know if I should sing the song again because it feels forced. But I said hello to Fancy and to Jolie, and I was saying hello to Robert. I said hello to every, and now I can't go back. The chat, like I was saying about the iPad, I really wish I could throw this against the wall because it will not let me scroll back up to a certain point. It won't let me go, and so things just disappear and it's gone forever, and I can't see it. It really pisses me off. Anyhow, as I was saying, if those opening videos didn't prove to you what a traitor that Trump is to this country, to the United States of America, then nothing will. Nothing will convince you. If that didn't convince you, nothing will. I don't think. Trump is so in the tank for Putin. It's not even silly. It's not even funny. And there's no jokes to be told about it. It's really sad. And we're going to be in for a rough time. We're 43 days in, and we're already seeing all the effects of it. People losing their jobs, the stock market's dropping, inflation is already going up. It's just this is all about. And is it worth it? This is all about tax breaks for the rich. We're going to take away Medicare and Medicaid and SNAP, and we're going to try to fuck up Social Security as much as possible. We're going to do all these things just so we can try to pay for a goddamn tax break for the fucking rich who don't fucking need it. Fuck you, Elon Musk. Fuck you, Donald Trump. Fuck you, all you fucking Republicans. Every single goddamn last one of you. You're going to fuck over America for a fucking tax break for people who don't need a fucking tax break. Fuck off. Anyhow. So much for that happy part of the show. Let me scroll on down. Yeah, we had Seaz in the chat. I see Fancy is here. Good. Never Fear Fancy's here. There's Nick Rich, 56. Happy birthday, Nick Rich. All right, here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Nick Rich. Happy birthday to you. There you go. I sang twice. Once was muted, I believe. So that was the first one was a warm-up, I guess. No sound, no audio. I'm just now getting to that part of the chat where you guys were. Yeah. It wasn't tech troubles. It was that was definitely operator error. I did not even turn the damn microphone on. Yeah, Chris Doug, crashing stock market, severely harming my retirement security. I'm not having a good week. Well, thank Donald Trump for that. Just basically anything bad that's going on, it's Donald Trump's fault. Because we were doing pretty damn good under Biden, and we would have continued it with Kamala Harris. It would have continued right on and we. I mean, there were some people saying there was going to be a recession no matter what, but whatever recession or downturns we may have faced under Harris would be, I think, minuscule or compared to what's happening under Trump. It's going to be like 1,000 times worse under Trump than it would have been under Harris. All right, and there's Michael Andrews with the $10. Thank you, and it says, John, turn on your mic. Thank you, Michael. It only took me a half an hour to read it. Sorry about that, Michael. But thank you. Yippee to Michael for that. I feel bad. I feel I feel really bad that you had to go to that extreme, or not extreme, but you had to go to that to try to tell me, and I still didn't even see it. Sorry that, but thank you, Michael, for the $10 super chat. I appreciate it, and I will try to not ever do that again. Pamela, how long will it take for John to notice no sound? About 10 minutes, apparently. I don't know. Yeah, Nick Rich, he's not reading the chat, giving words of wisdom. Yeah, pretty much. I don't know how wise they were, but Big Cookie looks angry. I did get angry during that. I was talking about. Oh yeah, was that part? I guess that part was during the no mic part when I was basically telling Trump and MAGA and the Republicans all to go fuck themselves because they are basically hurting Americans, middle class, working class, below poverty, poor people, all at the expense of getting rich billionaires tax breaks. People who don't even need fucking tax breaks. They can live just fine on what they would have left over after their taxes. No sound, no sound. Jolie just trying her best to get my attention, and still unheeded. Big Hook says, you tried, Jolie. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Last time took 20 minutes. William, turn the volume up to 11. Say, this is hilarious. Kelly says Trump's doing a good job. Yeah, well, you go on thinking that, Kelly. You go on thinking that right down to the as the Titanic is sinking. Yeah, Trump's doing a good job. Yeah, Trump's doing a good job. You keep saying that as you go down with the ship, Kelly. I'm still in the chat where apparently the sound was. I was still not on. You guys are telling me I'm muted. Fancy got a thumbs down because I couldn't hear. Say if this would only happen to Trump. I'm just trying to get. I'm still in the chat where. And then finally, so Pamela says finally. So and there's thumbs up with Jolie. So and Carrie C gave me thumbs up. So now I'm just now in the chat where you guys could hear me. Brooklyn, we missed the rant. Yeah, it was a pretty good rant. I apologize for that. Mr. Bob Newell, I can't hear you. I can't hear you either, Mr. Bob Newell. James Williams is here. Hey, James. Bonnie Thompson, I want a refund. Some people say silence is golden, so I don't know. Chris Doug Taxi Exhaust. Oh yeah, that was. I kind of opened that saying that this is the taxi Taxi Driver John show. Carolina, poor Jolie was tearing her hair out. And through all that, we still got 42 watching, only 35 thumbs ups. You know, I'm still going to ask for thumbs ups, even though the mic was off. You know, Mr. Bumnul, did you eat breakfast? I did. I made myself some pancakes. I had pancakes this morning. Mad Max here. Hey, Mad Mac, good to see you. Big Hook. Trump removed the Russian sanctions and is returning oligarchs' yachts. Wow, what a relief, huh? What a relief. I was really worried about those oligarchs not having their yachts. The Soulcraft, you say it's your birthday. Fancy says that is going to be hard in a country of 400 million guns. Not sure what that was in reference to. Soulcraft, happy Tariffs Day, by the way. Mr. Bob Newell says Trump cheats at golf, women, and taxes, and everything else. I don't know what your point is, BD, about having plenty of time to get out of the stock market. A lot of people have 401ks. I mean, a little harder to get out of those. You could switch from, you know, depending on where you had your percentages of your allocations going from, you know, the most risky to moderate and then to the most low risk ones or stuff like that. Yeah, there's certain things you could do. Regardless, though, whether you did that or not, the fact of the matter is that Trump is taking the economy. He's taking this fucking economy. Yeah, I was warning people. Hal Sparks was warning people. Everyone from the left that does these little shows or does the big shows, we were all warning everyone about what a Trump presidency would be like and how he's going to tank the economy. You know, inflation will rise, unemployment will rise, GDP will fall, the stock market will fall. We've been talking about this through this whole campaign. Yes, we were talking about it. I voted for Kamala Harris. 75 point something million others voted for her too. Kelly says that tariffs will bring back manufacturing. But how much will that actually employ? Because whatever manufacturing does come back and they build these new factories, it's going to be very, very automated. So we might not get the big employment boost that you might be claiming there, Kelly. A factory that took hundreds of employees or maybe even thousands of employees may only take a dozen. And most of that would be maintenance, a maintenance crew to make sure the machines are maintained. So I don't know. I do know tariffs will raise prices. And if Trump has a 25% tariff on all goods coming from China, in the meantime, before this so-called manufacturing comes back to America, everything from China is going to be 25% higher. Cian's here says, saw voiceless TJ, so funny. I was having my brekkie lunch dinner. Yeah, Nick Rich says tariffs or taxes on consumers. Big Hook Vegas is going to feel the recession. That's what I've been wondering too. Like, at what point are we going to be seeing really drastic drop-offs in the tourism here in Vegas? So far, I haven't really seen it, but this is considered the slow time of the year, even though Vegas's slow time is probably more busy than most other places' busy times. But just skipping on down a little bit here. Say how I can't hear anything. Did I lose my volume again? Did I lose my thing here? Beauty Hertz says, can you please recite what you said before your mic was turned on? Now you are just reading the chat. Well, Beauty Hertz, for one thing, that's basically the show, is me reading the chat. That's basically the show. I'll start off with sometimes with a rant. Hopefully the microphone will be on. For me to recreate it, I don't think I could. I think I kind of did. I kind of touched on it where I was talking about Trump being a traitor and a Russian asset, and just kind of reiterating some of the stuff in the opening videos. I think I already kind of touched on it, so we'll just bear with me here. I might go on another rant. Sometimes, reading the chat will kind of set me off on a tangent. So we'll see. Big Hook says shit is going to get real as the portion. Wait. Shit is going to get real as the faux portion is coming to fruition. I know that's a typo somewhere. Marsha says love you. Love you too, Marsha. Rob Perez, I saw that Mexico is making their own electric vehicles. Can we Americans own those cars here yet? I don't know, Robert. That's a good question. I mean, Mexico used to be our second biggest trading partner. I guess they still are. Canada is number one. Mexico number two, I believe. That's the order. We've through NAFTA and through the USMNC, whatever it's called. We've had manufacturing there. We've got, we have U.S. manufacturers that are set up in Mexico. I don't know. I guess if there's going to be huge tariffs that Trump's going to impose on Mexico, that might make it cost prohibitive. I don't know. I don't know if there's any restrictions on that. I don't think so. I wouldn't think so, but who knows? And I don't know if you're talking about making EVs. I don't know what they're making. I thought that Tesla was going to be making a new plant down there, or they've been building it. I don't know if it's done or up and running or not. So I don't know if that's what you're talking about. Stan Bender's here. How goes? Hey, Stan Bender, how goes it with you? Thanks for being here. I hope you like, subscribe, and share, and all that good stuff. VD Hertz, can you please repeat? I pretty much did repeat it. Okay, I already did repeat it. Stop asking it over and over again. All right. Don't be like a little kid. You're going to bug me about wanting to get a toy when we're doing our shopping, our grocery shopping. Okay. I said no. Daddy said no. We can't afford a toy right now. Got to get some eggs. You want eggs for breakfast, right? So stop bugging me for the toy. Andy USA is here. Hey, Andy, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for jumping on in. Devin Murphy says, my son was crying. I did not know he had stock. Oh. He was crying about the stock market dropping, huh? Remember how when Biden was president and Trump was always saying during the campaign that Biden, that the economy was so bad and Biden was gonna crash the stock market and all that stuff, and yet we had just continual rises in the stock market, setting new records, breaking new records all through the Biden presidency, and now 43 days into the Trump presidency, the stock market is diving. It's taking a nosedive, you know. Big Hook, I hope your pantry is well stocked because tough times are coming. Stan Binder says, but that's what these mindless MAGA Church of Trump cult members voted for, apparently. Yeah, that's what they voted for, and now they're seeing the results of it, and I hope that a lot of them realize the mistake that they made, and when we have upcoming elections, I really hope they decide to vote for Democrats. We got to stop voting for Republicans. I mean, my entire life, the Republicans have not been good for working class people. I've been saying this my whole life. In the 80s, I said it. In the 90s, I said that the Democrats are the party of the people. They are the party for the working class people. And the Republicans are really just looking out for the ultra rich, the multimillionaires and billionaires. I said that in the 80s. I said it in the 90s. I said it in the aughts. I said it in the teens, and now I'm saying it in the 20s here, in the 2020s. It hasn't changed. It's just gotten worse under Trump. But the overall goal of the Republican Party has always been, at least from my perspective and within my lifetime, at least my adult voting lifetime, the Republican Party has always been about getting tax breaks for the rich and stripping away regulations. And that's it. And everything else is just to lure people in, to lure in the working class because they need their votes. There's not enough rich people to get them in power. They have to bring in the middle class, the working class. And so they create these hot button issues, these emotional issues of, about abortion and gun control and, claiming that, denying climate change and all that kind of shit. They work people up like that to bring them in because they can't win on just the billionaires and millionaires. There's just not enough of them. And I've been saying this since the 80s, and it really hasn't changed, other than the fact that now it's gotten so extreme that we have the possibility of actually losing our democracy to total oligarchy. The progression has just, from Reagan on down, it's just gotten worse and worse and worse. From Reagan to Bush 2, and now 2 times of Trump. Every time they get worse and worse and worse and more extreme, to the point where now we could very well lose this country and not be the democratic republic, U.S. constitutional country that we are, and just be a total Russia puppet. That's where we're at. Chris Doug says Trump wants to kill U.S. Treasury yields, and he's succeeding. Absolutely no economic benefit to this. MJ Daniel says, too many stupid people saying that this will never happen. Democrats are exaggerating, feeling pretty stupid now, aren't you? And President Biden had been bringing back manufacturing to America. Yeah, absolutely. He was bringing back jobs. Big Hook says Trump is trying to cancel chip factories. Biden brought to Arizona. And why? Just because Biden brought them? That's another thing that Trump does. You know, anything that had, when in his first term, that had Obama's name on it, he just automatically wanted to cancel. He didn't care if it was good, bad, had no reasoning, other than the fact that it was an Obama program. And now, same thing, if Biden has his name stamped on it, he wants it gone. He doesn't care how good or beneficial it is to the country, to the economy. That's how stupid and pig-headed Trump is. Robert Perez says, remember that Trump said that if you vote for Kamala, the economy will collapse. Well, look at the stock market now, free falling. That's because everything that Trump says is a lie. Every word that comes out of his mouth is a lie. You can pretty much count on that. Almost everything that out of that man's mouth is a lie. Tim Farrell is here. Hey, Tim, good to see you. Says, sad day, my country. Canada, Ukraine. Big Hook says Ukraine aid gone. Taiwan in the crosshairs of China now. Marsha says I can't save money. I lose Social Security if I do. Stick it in a pillowcase then. I don't know. Paul Sharkey Man, from across the pond, is here. Hey, Paul Sharkey. He says, even TJ and truckers. Good evening to you, Paul. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us here in the old Driver's Lounge. MJ Daniel says, hundreds of good jobs manufacturing solar panels in Dalton, Georgia alone, MTG's district. Non-useless here says, morning trucker, tariff day, coffee bean saw a significant increase this morning, reaching record highs, with some sources stating a jump of over 40%. So for all you coffee lovers out there, drink up. VD Hertz says Canada's economy is bigger than Russia's. The EU has 6x more people than Russia. I don't know what spelling was Z's for. Trump is putting the USA in a depression. I believe that. Certainly a big recession. And who knows? Who knows? The way things are going, who knows? VD Hertz, who knows? We might get a big stock market crash. This might be 1929 all over again. Big Hook. Trump is causing all the precursors for World War III. Yeah, and he has the nerve to sit there and yell at Zelenskyy, saying Zelensky's going to cause World War III. But you're exactly right, Big Hook. It's Trump who's leading the way, who's setting it up. Tim Farrell, John, can you turn that American flag upside down? Yeah, we are in distress. I should. If I could, I would. But I mean, there's probably a way I can turn the whole thing upside down. And Ukraine's in distress too, I think. Michael McAndrews says the IRS notified us of a mistake. HR Block wrote down the wrong number. We owed $2,000 more for last year's taxes. That sucks, Michael. That sucks. Suzanne Forestepi is here. Hey, Suzanne, good to see you. Thanks for joining us here in the old Driver's Lounge. Fancy is saying to get the extension to Michael. Yeah, you can get that extension till October, I think. Josh, I got depressed. The day has begun. What do we do to fight off this depression? I know all of us are feeling it, I think. Most of us, anyhow, who have any bit of awareness of what's going on. It's easy to get depressed and just not only angry or upset, but to just feel like kind of hopeless. And that's why we have these marches going on. If there's a protest or a march or whatever, go to that. Do that kind of stuff. I think that will help. It might not. I don't know what it's going to do. I think it helps. I think it does help emotionally, and I think it helps to see a group of like-minded people. You're all there because you all dislike Trump and what he's doing, and Vance and the whole administration. I think it's healthy if you can get together and protest peacefully. So if you have a march or a protest in your town or in your close by, go and do that. And I think that the more and more people that do that, I think it does kind of open the eyes of some of these Republicans. Like these town hall meetings, they're running away because they can't stand to be, shouted down by their own people in their own districts. So if you can go to a town hall, and if you're a Democrat in a red district, you might find you've got some Republican support there. Your Republican neighbors are upset too. Join them in yelling down and shouting down that representative. Stan Bender says that Trump wants them to buy more American products to equalize trade deficit, but if their economies don't do well, they won't be buying. Look, we have trade deficits, and the reason we have trade deficits is because we consume the most of any country in the world. We are the number one consumers. Our economy is so tied to consumption. So of course we're going to be having trade deficits, and that's okay because it stimulates our economy when we get the goods in for our consumers to consume. There's going to be some trade deficits. It's not just like he looks at that and thinks, "Oh, you need to start buying more of our stuff." Look, we need to consume. That's how we stimulate our economy. MJ Daniel says electronics and auto parts, among other things, from Mexico and Canada, get ready for prices to go crazy. It's all going to jump up. Carolina says Trump's tax plan ain't for maggot peons. If you're in the above $1 million income, you get a tax break. The rest of us pay more. Facts. 2106, smooth sounds of 2106 here in the chat. It says, Jolie, always Jolie, Jolie, Jolie. Now this song is in my head for the day. I'm sort of mid-thread on that one little conversation, so I guess you were talking about the song about Jolie. Big Hook. Tesla has lost $320 billion in value. Good. I hope it goes broke. Or that if there's a way for the executives, the board of executives, or whatever, to do a buyout, a hostile takeover, whatever, and get him out. That would be the only way. I think that's the only way to save Tesla. Is if they can bump Musk out, get him out. Otherwise, it's going to tank completely, and deservedly so. I'm just looking at the chats here. Paul Burrows is here. Paul says an ostrich egg will feed a family of 6. We should maybe go to start buying ostrich eggs or something. I don't know. You get more bang for your buck. Well, Kelly, just I hope you enjoy your inflation, and I hope you enjoy all the high prices that you're going to be paying at the store and for everything that you buy. And when you do, just know it's because of your beloved's, Trump's economic policies. Just know that. Non-Musil says the president's 25% tariffs on the neighboring countries would send the cost to build a crossover utility vehicle up at least $4,000. Sorry for the error. Chris Doug says Trump misguided, even self-destructive policies will cause a recession. He hasn't got a clue how to use his position to grow the economy. He's a failed businessman. He filed bankruptcy 6 times. Now he'll try to play it off and say, that's smart. I was smart to do that. I say you're either really stupid, horrible businessman, or you're just a very crooked, dishonest businessman. And Trump is probably both. Don't you hate it when the water goes down the wrong pipe? I hate it. I hate that when it happens. Skipping on down, I got Walter Makarovich says, hi, Trucker John. Did you see J.D. Vance skiing adventure on the slopes, state of delusion tonight from 9 p.m. 9 Washington, I did not see him skiing. I just saw him being greeted by the local folks there, telling him basically get the fuck out, which I thought was great. I thought that was great. The town folk came out, they made their signs, and they basically said, we don't want you here, JD. Non-Useful says nearly 15,000 will have died of AIDS already because of Trump and Musk cuts to U.S. aid. Advocacy program claims. Yeah, you're going to see deaths related to that. You're going to see deaths right here at home. With the VA being cut, the VA cuts is going to kill veterans. Disabled veterans are going to die unnecessarily because of the Trump administration and Elon Musk and DOGE and all that bullshit. Deborah Murphy, I'm not watching the Trump speech tonight. I'm not going to because I'll probably be driving. That's one reason why. And also, if I was at home, I don't think I would watch either. I would probably watch clips of it later, but I don't want to spend my time listening to that bloviating, big, orange, pussy sack of pussiness. Robert Perez says, so how's the taxi business? Is it paying better than Uber? So far, I would say no. But in the, I guess, would this be the net effect? It is better because I'm not paying $550 a week in the rental for all the rental charges. And for charging the car and for the rental fee and the insurance and everything else, I was spending about $560 a week on that car. Now I don't have that. So that's a huge, huge relief. So whatever money I make, it's mine. And of course, it will be taxed, but so with the Uber income is taxed. So I'm liking the fact that it's a huge relief, a huge weight off of my shoulders, not to have that $550 a week expense of that rental car. And I will get better at taxi driving. I'm still learning. I think I'm doing okay, though. They say you average about, they say, everyone, even the veterans or whatever, veteran taxi drivers, they average about 2 rides an hour. And I'm averaging 2 rides an hour. Sometimes I'll get more. But on the average, it seems to be about 2 per hour. It seems like my daily take is right, because they post all this stuff in the driver's room there. They post all these kind of daily averages, like per shift, what their daily per shift, how much they're making, and all that kind of stuff. The average, they put the averages up there. I seem to be right in there with the averages, so I think I'm doing okay. Brooklyn was saying, also was asking, how's the cab driving? Let's talk about something happy. So yeah, but the taxi driving, I didn't drive last night. I had some other business to take care of during the day, and then afterwards, I just felt like I felt like it was just kind of too late in the day, and I don't want to start too late, because then that means I'll drive later, and then I'll be up really late at night, and then I have to get up early to do this, or kind of early, So I just decided to take yesterday off. Although my plan is normally to be driving at least, my Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Because like I explained before, and I don't expect everyone to remember my exact schedule or my exact job details, but I did hire on as a part-time flex, which means I can go in whenever I want, which is great, and have that flexibility. And they do provide the car, and they do pay for all the fuel, and those are the 3 great things about it. But you are limited to averaging, and I say average because I'll explain that in a minute, averaging, I think, no more than 30 hours a week. Because they do have a union there. This is a kind of a union shop. I'm not in the union. A part-time flex is not really in the union, but the collective bargaining agreement, it does provide for the company to hire part-time flexes. And so as per the CBA, part-time flexes aren't allowed to work more than 30 hours per week. Now, one of the ways that the company, I guess, they're not getting around it, but they're allowing you to work more than 30 hours a week if you want, but you just can't go over 749 hours in the first 6-month period of the year, and then it kind of resets for the second half of the year, and you get another 749. So that's how they do it. So like let's say this week, if I wanted to work 40 hours or 50 hours or 60 hours or 70 hours, I could do so, as long as I don't run up over that 749 for this half of the year. Anyhow, so keeping that in mind, I figured if I work Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, if I do, even if you did, if I just did, 8 times 3 is 24. That's 24 hours. So I could work 8-hour shifts. I could do 3 10-hour shifts. Maybe 10-hour shifts would be good. And 10-hour shifts, it kind of goes fast, actually. It seems like I haven't really worked 10 hours yet, but I have been doing 8 and 9 hours and stuff like that. So, but let's say if I could do 3 10-hour shifts. That's 30 hours, and that would be pretty much it for the week. And I could go over if I wanted, but but then your total hours can't go over that total amount that I said. But anyhow, but so far so good. I like it. I enjoy it. I'm getting the hang of it. I'm feeling a little more confident each time I go out. I'm getting less and less of that feeling like that I'm forgetting to do something. I left something out, or I pushed the wrong button on that meter or whatever. That's as you go on, you get more and more confident, and you just remember the procedures more, and so I am feeling better with that. And look at that, we got AM with a $5 super sticker. United we stand, divided we lose. Thank you, AM. Yippee to AM for that. We got that, AM. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support of the show. Your support is always greatly appreciated. And always, all the different ways you guys do, by liking, subscribing, sharing. We got 57 watches, 64 thumbs ups. Thank you guys for those thumbs ups. Thank you for all your support in any way that you can do it. I always appreciate it. Mike H is here. Haven't seen Mike H in forever, Mike H. Glad to see you. Hope you're okay. Hopefully everything's been okay with you. Thanks for dropping on in. Suzanne Forsepi says, Trump is in revenge mode. He's always in revenge mode. I think he's always in revenge mode. That guy does nothing but revenge. He is a sociopath. He is, he only cares about himself, and so anything that he sees, everything as a slight against him, or he sees everything as people being against him, and he just will use whatever power that he has. And now he's the president of the United States, so one of the most powerful men in the world. Yeah, he's going to seek retribution and revenge on everyone that he can. That's all that motivates him. That's all he, that's one of the only things that gives him probably enjoyment, because he's a sick man. And look, I don't want to put down people who are mentally ill or have mental problems. I'm just saying, I don't know if we should have one be the president, and one that is so blatant with it and is so obviously fucked up in the head. Everyone has problems, everyone has issues, but Donald Trump is harmful because of the position that he's in. His condition it affects everyone. I see Aaron's here. Hey, Aaron, good to see you. I don't think I said hi before, so hello to Aaron. So now I'm not sure how long Aaron's been here, but we are at full mod capacity. Thanks for being here. Deborah Murphy says, I thought yesterday Trump said he was building a chip factory in Arizona. Well, if he did say that, he's trying to glom on to what has already been started by Biden through the Chips and Science Act, for crying out loud. But that's, that's par for the course. All the Republicans who were against Biden and who voted against the Chips and Science Act and who voted against all these things, the Inflation Reduction Act, anything that those programs brought to their town, they're going to claim it. If it came and it brought jobs to their town and helped their local economies, they're going to claim it. And so hopefully we can say, well, why didn't you support it in the first place? They should be pointed out for their hypocrisy. That's for sure. Chris Doug says Republicans are great at ribbon cutting ceremonies for projects initiated by Democrats. Sometimes I think Chris Doug and I are on the same wavelength here. They've been doing this for decades. They blame Dems for high taxes and big government. Yep. All right, I'm skipping down because I know I'm really behind. Mad Max here. Mad Max says, I'm Slava Ukrainian, by the way, to Mad Mac. Mad Mac says, was on an international Zoom call. Sorry if I missed saying hi. Back to everyone. Well, hey, I'm glad you're saying hi now. CR says hi. Hello, CR. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us here in the old driver's lounge. Kelly says, I'm not watching you read posts I've already read. You need a partner to keep the flow going. Bye, John. Bye, chat. Bye, Kelly. And don't let that screen door hit you or the good Lord split you or something like that. Exhausted Liberal says, I've given up on letting the doom and gloom affect me any longer. I hope Trump is successful so our economy can be successful. Otherwise, we are fucked, but not letting it live in my head rent-free anymore. Of course we hope Trump is successful, but what is Trump's idea of success? It must not be having low inflation and having a high GDP, even though he says we're going to have a GDP. But obviously under his watch, GDP goes down, inflation goes up, unemployment goes up, the stock market goes down. I'm not rooting for Trump to lose or for Trump to fail, obviously, because that affects me and it affects all of us in this country and it affects the whole world. So I'm not rooting for Trump to fail, but we can see that his policies are doomed to failure. They are dooming us. They're dooming our economy. Mad Max says, I like the video you had at the beginning, TJ. I'm glad you liked it. I hope. And then there's 10 minutes of me silently going off on it. So skip the first 10 minutes of when it comes on to me. Big Hook says the State of the Union address is going to be a shit show. Oh, I have no doubt in that either. Yeah, it probably will be. V.D. Hertz says during the 1920s, the USA had 3 GOP presidents, all failed, all piled on tariffs, leading to the stock market crash in 1929 and the Great Depression. At Kelly. Oh, it was at Kelly. Kelly left. Kelly apparently didn't like me reading chats or something back. So, bye-bye, Kelly. I guess that's one way to get rid of someone like that. I don't know. Mad Max says the U.S. Forest Service put a huge USA flag upside down on El Capitan and Yellowstone. I saw a picture of that. And I wonder how many of those fuckers either A, even bothered to vote, and B, how many of those fuckers voted for Trump that hung that flag upside down. That's what I think of when I see that. There's a lot of folks that are that work in federal jobs that vote for fucking Republicans. So if that's the case, all I can say to you motherfuckers is you're getting what you deserve. The only bad thing is, why do I gotta feel that pain too? And I do, and we all will. Butterflies are free. It's here. Welcome to the chat. Butterflies are free. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Butterflies are free says, hey, Trucker John and chat, has anyone heard that BlackRock purchased the ports in Panama? Is a pretty new story. That's all I know right now, but I wanted to put that bug in your ear. I think I did hear that, a quick thing about that somewhere. Yeah. Or something about BlackRock in Panama. Exhausted Liberals here. Hey, Exhausted Liberal says, I left H&R Block 5 years ago and went to a CPA because they screwed me putting the wrong numbers in, and I owed the following year. I usually use a CPA too. I don't go to H&R Block. The Soulcraft says, also made his birthday a national holiday. The Soulcraft. I don't know who that was. I'm mid-thread on that, so I don't know who we talking about. Fancy says today is the day. Okay. I'm mid-thread. Non-Useful says my 2 brothers lost $60,000 from 401k. $60,000 just in the last, since Trump became president? See there? See what's going on? Suzanne, I'm skipping down. Suzanne says, Big Hook, you are my only chatters and my hero. You are my hero. Mad Max says the Orange Rapist is definitely doing his best to destroy the USA. It is fucking obvious. He is thinking to rebuild the USA into Russia too. Who the hell knows? He is insane. At some point, the shit's going to hit the fan. I'm all for peaceful protest. I am. I think that helps. I think it makes a difference. But at some point, it's going to get unpeaceful if it keeps going. I think there's a lot of people in this country, regardless of political affiliation, that do not want to see us go and turn into Russia or any type of dictatorship or authoritarian regime. So at some point, there's going to be a tipping point. I keep saying this. There's going to be a tipping point. Where that exactly is, how much damage is going to be done, how much hurt we're going to be hurting, it's going to be a lot before we get to that tipping point. But there's going to be a tipping point. And if Trump continues, which I don't see him stopping, at some point, there will be a tipping point. That's all I'm going to say. You can extrapolate from that, from what I mean by tipping point and what will happen when we reach it. Skip it on down in the chat here. Chris Doug says, hello, Canadian, British, and Australian friends in the chat. You are always welcome and appreciated. We are not MAGA. We are not. That's for sure. That's for sure. Brooklyn says, NY471 says, my Samsung tablet died and I'm not buying a new one. Just have the phone now. Skip it on down in the old chat room here. Kimchi's here. Hey, Kimchi. Sorry so late, beautiful genius butter trucklers. The goddess Kimchi. Thank you for being here. I always appreciate you coming on in to the chat room, to the driver's lounge. Pull up a chair, grab a seat. Nick Rich, the official timekeeper of the Trucker John live stream, says that it's 10 a.m. in Vegas. I'm 22 minutes behind in the chat. 22 minutes behind. Wow. I better skip on down. That means Kimchi came into the chat 22 minutes ago. And I'm just now saying hi. VD Hertz says Trump Vance received the lowest percentage of votes in Vermont. That's how dumb Vance is to have gone there. Yeah, talk about being out of touch, huh? With reality. Paul Burrow says going to put another 100 pounds of king salmon in the smokehouse. That sounds yummy. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Exhausted Liberal says, I hope I am wrong, Deborah, but here lately it seems like Trump can't lose and gets his way. We'll see. Look at that. Roxanne Epstein, 99-cent super sticker. Thank you, Roxanne. You get a yippee as well. Thank you so much, Roxanne. I appreciate the support of the show, and thanks for doing that. And I like that little, like, angry, it looks like an angry devil or something. I don't know. We're all angry. Let's see. I'm just skipping down. I'm mid-threading a lot of your conversations. James Williams is here saying good morning to Kimchi. There's Tim Farrell, Canada, Ukraine, sad face. Brooklyn, I'm so glad cab driving is working out for you. So far, so good. Yeah, I think it's doing good. The only bad thing I don't like is I have to Uber over there. It's like a 20-minute ride on the Uber. It's always costing me, with the tip and everything, usually $25 each way. So it's $50 a day I'm spending on the Uber. But That's a hell of a lot cheaper than renting a car for $550 a week, so. Big Hook, yeah, Kimchi, I think my love life would just make another woman unhappy. Enough out there already. I'm mid-thread. That was a mid-thread thing there. Jojo Mojo Jojo's here. Hey, Jojo Mojo Jojo. Good to see you. My favorite name on the internet. Thanks for being here. Trump ignorance mode is more like it. That was a mid-thread. I'm totally mid-thread. Anthony Romaniak is here. Hey, Anthony. Good to see you. And Anthony says everything he does is all vengeance. And that's what I was saying. See, we're on the same wavelength here. We're on the same wavelength. I'm skipping down in the chat. I'm sort of needle dropping. I'm kind of just needle dropping on the chat room. Roxanne Arfield says anxiety is rampant for sure. Kimchi. Again, mid-thread. Now, Nick Rich, the official timekeeper of the Trigger John live stream, says 10:15. Now I am 11 minutes behind. Blue Bonnie's here. Hey, Blue Bonnie, good to see you. Says, Walter, I live with the enemy. It just gets worse. Hang in there, Blue Bonnie. Hang in there. Now, Brooklyn says, do you think it would have mattered if President Biden hadn't done that debate? Just posing the question. I'm not really sure if I've even thought about that before. So I'm glad you asked it because, let's think about that. What if Biden hadn't done the debate? Now, he claims he was sick, and it wasn't long after that they said he got COVID, I think. Now, I don't know if he had COVID during that night. I don't think he tested, because they test him all the time. I don't think he tested for COVID. But he said he had a cold, and that's why his voice was kind of hoarse and soft, And they, so they tried to put up, the kind of excuses for his performance. But what if they just said, you know what, Biden's too sick, we're going to cancel it? And I'm sure there would have been a big hullabaloo, whatever, a hubbub. And they would have said, look, he's backing out. Biden's backing out because he's too afraid. He's too chicken to face Trump. But I think that would have blown over. So I think it's a good question, Brooklyn. It might have, after a few days, it would have blown over. And let's say Biden stayed in it. And whether they rescheduled or not. Now, of course, if they did reschedule, then and if he had the same performance that he actually did have, and then George Clooney and Pelosi and everybody would be, clamoring for him to drop out, then it would have been later in the campaign, and would have given Harris even less time to campaign. So, I mean, at that point, maybe that would have been the point of no return as far as Joe dropping out. And that might have still been enough. That might have been good enough for him to win because Biden, for whatever reason, people like Joe Biden, and I love Joe Biden. And I don't mean by for whatever reason like he did something bad. He was a great president. I think he was a great president. But because we see the turnout for this 2024 election, we see it was much smaller than 2020. Kamala Harris got far fewer votes than Biden did in 2020. Biden did much, much better than I ever expected in 2020. I never expected him to win by that margin. I didn't really even expect him to be the nominee during the primaries at first. And then he started winning and he rose to the top. He became the nominee. I was all for him. I voted for him in the general election, and he ended up trouncing Trump by almost 8 million votes. That's a huge fucking talk about mandate. That's a mandate, and he won the Electoral College handily. If anyone had a mandate, it was Joe Biden. So I think it's an interesting question in Brooklyn. If Joe Biden had, let's say, canceled that debate, said, I'm too sick, can't do it. And Trump could go on and say that Biden backed out because he's afraid of him. He's scared. He's chicken. He can say all he wanted. And at the end of the day, I don't think that would have hurt. I don't think that would have hurt Biden. So, and this is retrospect. Hindsight's 2020. And it's something I guess we'll never know, but we can speculate about it. We can talk about it. And if he had skipped that debate and stayed in, he probably would have won. He probably would have won, I think. But at the time, he did do the debate, and he looked horrible, even to us, even to us Democrats, and we loved him. I got to say, he looked really horrible, even though, if you listen to what he said, he clearly won the debate, on the merits, because Trump didn't even answer the questions. He just rambled on and came out with his nonsense and did it loudly. So people thought, a lot of people thought, well, he won because he was loud and he was very, confident or whatever. And Biden looked very frail and weak and old and lost. But if you listen to the words that came out of the man's mouth, he said all the right things. But it's all water under the bridge. There's nothing we can do about it. We can't go back in time. And all the people the day after the election that said, is it too late to change my vote? It's too late to change your vote. And now we're stuck with this orange turd. We're stuck with him until he either croaks or he terms out. He's not going to get a third a third term. That's not going to happen. So he's either going to die before he serves, or he's just going to term out. And we just got to ride this motherfucker out as best we can. And one way that will certainly help us ride it out is by showing up in 2026. No staying at home. None of that horse shit. Make sure you're registered. Make sure you're ready to go to vote in 2026. And you vote Democrats all through all the ticket. All down ticket. All Democrat. All day long. You don't vote for any goddamn Republicans. That's what needs to happen in 2026. Got to happen. We got to have it. Got to have it, people. Because if not, who knows? We might see a Trump third term. Now, that would take a constitutional amendment. It would have to be ratified by the states. By maybe non-useful, or somebody can refresh my memory on the percentage of the states. But right now, the red states outnumber the blue states but it's by like one vote. It's pretty close to 50-50. I think, or maybe it's like maybe they're up by 2 states or something. I don't think it's a simple majority, right? I think it's like a super majority or something of the states would have to ratify it. But anyhow, let's not let it get there to that point. Let's show up in 2026. Let's take back the House. Let's take the Senate. I'm skipping down a little bit here in the chat. Walter McCover says, it's amazing. 2 draft dodgers controlling our beloved USA. 1 from South Africa, 1 from the United States. And yet the one leader that stands side by side with his troops, all for democracy, is bad. Yeah. Ukrainian, if you're talking about Zelenskyy, he's out there, man. He didn't flee the country. And there have been Putin has certainly tried to send people in to take him out. Zelenskyy is not, he's in danger. Not just because there's a war going on, but Putin directly trying to take him out, sending in assassins and stuff. And then you see this orange fucking turd sit there and berate him and saying he's being disrespectful and all that. Fuck you, Trump. You are the most disrespectful piece of shit motherfucker I've ever seen. Let's see here. Jojo says, take care, John, and everyone, though, got to go. I'm not feeling the best as usual. Well, I hope you feel better, Jojo, if you're still here. Probably not. You probably left already, but I hope you feel better. And yeah, get some rest or whatever it is you need to do. Hope you get better. Suzanne says, Weird Texas is getting fires now, and we are under a fire alert due to high winds. Be careful, Suzanne. Fires are dangerous. Sia says, just want to say that you all should be protesting like hell and showing up everywhere in the country, and don't be afraid. It looks like you are sitting ducks according to what I read on the news all over. I don't know about the sitting duck part, but I think that, yeah, let's all protest peacefully. Let's show them the numbers. Let's show them that this was not a mandate, that this was a very close race, and that there are at least 75 million of us who are not on board. Just a little side note here. I guess Non-Useful points out that when Marjorie Taylor Greene became representative, her bank account showed roughly $55,000. Today she is now over to $28 million. Interesting. Interesting. Kevin64 says, does anyone remember who sent COVID tests to Putin before his own people? I do. That would be Donald Trump. Oh, and it wasn't just COVID tests. I think he was sending out machines. I think he was sending ventilators and shit, all the shit that we needed. He was sending it to them. Hey, there's WW. Hey, WW, good to see you. And WW is singing Happy Birthday to Rich, as only WW could. And Brooklyn coming in with a 99-cent super sticker with the winky eye. Thank you. Yippee to Brooklyn, New York 471. Brooklyn in the house. What, are you kidding me? Thank you, Brooklyn. I appreciate that little super sticker there. Fancy gifted a membership. Thank you, Fancy. Thanks for that gifting of the membership. I always do appreciate you supporting the show. And Darkly Yours was the lucky recipient. Darkly Yours. I haven't seen Darkly Yours in here today. But there's Darkly Yours. Got that. Big Hook. Okay, folks, I need to shut eye before I go to work later. I have said my part, and I'm sure you are sick of me already. All yours, Mr. Fowler. Never, Big Hook. We're never sick of you. Big Hook. Very interesting takes. We all enjoy, I think, your take on things. Roxanne Epstein is here. Roxanne says, I know the feeling when it comes to the H season around here in Florida. We don't say the H word. I don't know what the H season is. You're going to have to say the H word, I think, because I don't know what you're talking about. Although it might come to me. It might pop into my head and be like, oh. Mad Max says, there used to be a dance show called Hullabaloo. It was like American Bandstand. I think I recall that. Hullabaloo. Hullabaloo, a lot of hullabaloo. We got a lot of hullabaloo, yeah. Roxanne Epstein, I had zero stress under Biden. I know. Roxanne, I know. Isn't that... It's like, I know Joe Biden's not perfect. No one is perfect. Democratic Party is not perfect. But under Biden, I didn't have to go to bed at night worrying if, I don't know, a pandemic was going to break out and we were going to lose another 1 million people. I didn't have to worry about if Social Security or Medicaid was going to be scrapped. I didn't have to worry about, if we were going to leave Ukraine high and dry and susceptible to being slaughtered by Russia. That is something I worry about. Now, I didn't have to worry about just the total economy collapsing around us. I didn't have to worry about that because things were going pretty damn good. Yeah, it wasn't perfect, but we were doing pretty damn good. In 43 days, Donald Trump has taken us from being pretty damn good to already being in shithole territory. Where we stand to lose everything. So I hear you. I hear you, Roxanne Epstein. Skipping on down, needle dropping in the chat here. Ron Ussel says, warning, an outbreak of severe thunderstorms is March across the central and eastern United States. So be on the lookout for those thunderstorms. Thanks for that weather update. Mr. Spock is here. Live long and prosper to Mr. Spock. How about SCTV's Mel's Rockpile? Josh says Trump got more media coverage than Biden the entire 4 years of his administration. Media bias. That's the media bias that we keep talking about. Yep, non-useful, just mild rain in northern Illinois. Suzanne says, I'm going to say my piece. Wish Foggy hadn't said nasty things about me. She has turned some of the chatters against me. I don't even know who Foggy is. Suzanne, so sorry to hear that. But that's not nice. That's not nice. Whoever Foggy is. Floyd Price has stock sinking, economy sagging, FAFO phase, still Democrats' fault. Well, yeah, that's the people who didn't show up to vote, I guess. I do know there was some tampering. I do believe that there were some votes lost that could have made a difference, but I also think that if about 15 more million people had showed up in 2020, that we probably wouldn't be in this mess right now. There's plenty of blame to go around. I don't know if we can blame it all on the Democrats or Democratic voters or non-voters, the people who sat home. But they deserve part of the blame, for sure. The 15 to 19 million that didn't show up, that did show up for Biden in 2020 and didn't show up for Kamala Harris in 2024, I'm mad at you too. Almost as much as I'm mad at MAGA. Michael McAndrew says I have to go start cooking a large pot of fettuccine Alfredo for a lady's birthday party we are hosting here. I'll probably just take a nap. Alrighty then. Well, good luck on the party and the fettuccine and all that stuff, Michael. Thanks for being here. Do appreciate you hanging out with us. Mad Max says, it is obvious, especially after that vid at the start of your show explains so much, that he is a definite, clear and present danger to the USA. Yeah, he is. He is a Russian asset. Donald Trump. No doubt about it. He is in the pocket of Vladimir Putin. Bought and paid for. Bought, off, and paid for. Let's see. I skipped down. I'm needle dropping here. Been a needle drop. Devin Murray says, Brooklyn 471. Then you knew he had just got home from the mess in Gaza. He was sick and tired. Yeah, that we were talking about earlier about the debate. And I was just saying, like I said, we posed the hypothetical, what if he didn't do the debate? In retrospect, I think that would have forced him to stay in because if they did do a debate, it would have been later in the campaign, and it would have been virtually impossible for him to get out at that point. I don't think he could have waited one day longer than what he did to drop out. But like I say, it's all hindsight, and nothing we can do about it now. Mad Max says, if Republicans are too scared to have town hall meetings in their districts, I say to have Democrats do the meetings in place of them would probably get a lot of people switching to Democrat. Well, the thing is, if a district, if we're talking about House representatives, they each have a district that they won. That's their district. I mean, a Democrat could have a meeting, but it would just be like a Democratic Party meeting. It wouldn't, you know what I mean? It wouldn't be, you can't have the district representative meeting. Only that representative that was elected to that district that's the representative. I mean, a Democrat could try to hold their own little meetings, and they probably do anyhow, but that would not be someone who's in office necessarily. That would be that would just be the Democratic Party that's in that area. And they do. The Democratic Party, they have meetings, but they can't have the representative meeting, you know what I mean? So this doesn't work that way. Suzanne and PPE, I'm talking about sending to Russia, yeah, Suzanne. Big Chick, Noah is now gone. Hope your Mother Nature doesn't fuck you over without their advance warning. Everything Trump is doing, there's not one good thing. I can't think of one good thing that he's done. And if he has done anything good, it's definitely overshadowed by all the bad that he's doing. He doesn't do anything that's good. He does not do anything that is good. Think about that. Nothing he's doing is good. Nothing. It's all bad. We try to find redeeming characteristics in people, even people who are bad or evil. We try to find something that's something good about that person. I can't think of anything that's good about Donald Trump, and I can't think of anything good that he's doing. Although I remember yesterday hearing something that Trump did, and I thought I remember saying, well, that was kind of good, but I don't remember what it was now. Maybe someone will refresh my memory. Let me skip down in the chat. WW, don't get me wrong. I voted for Kamala, but I'm not going to let Trump ruin the next 4 years. Well, some of us might not have a choice. When our Social Security gets cut or isn't getting sent because they're closing down or they're laying off or firing Social Security staff, when our Medicaid is being lost, when Medicare is being shut down, there's lots of people, they're not going to have a choice to feel it, to not feel what Trump is doing. When SNAP benefits are reduced to the point of just being useless. Squirrel Girl, hey Squirrel Girl, good to see you. Thanks for joining us here in the chat. I don't know if I've seen you before, so thank you. Make sure you hit that thumbs up if you would. I got 43 watching, 80 thumbs ups, so that's a pretty good ratio. But Squirrel Girl says these two House of Representative seats available in Florida to replace Matt Gaetz, District 1, and Michael Walz, District 6. And that would be a great thing. That, I think, if we won those two seats, we would get the House, I think. Don't the Republicans only have the House by like a 1-seat majority? 1 or 2 seats, whatever. So those are big, Swirl Girl. Those are big seats coming up. But it is Florida. But there have been some close races there. And maybe there's just enough FAFO going around. You know. I don't know what the polling's looking like, but come on, man. Come on, Florida. Wise up, you know? How many kicks to the head do you got to take before you realize that there's something you can do? And you can get up and vote for Democrats. CN says, I just want to warn you, I listen to those talking with media about the votes and stuff, and there needs to be more voter police everywhere checking everything multiple times. Do you think it's okay? Fight. I don't know about voter police, but there definitely needs to be, like watchdogs or whatever to make sure everything's being done on the up and up. And we do have, polling place, what do they call them? Officers or whatever. But and it's not like you can just go in there and say, I'm going to watch what's going on. There has to be some sort of, process to give someone authorization and some sort of vetting on that. Nick Rich, John jumped to the bottom. Well, I skipped down. Yeah. I had to. Otherwise I would never ever get done. I would never get to the end here. WWE will be the most expensive midterm race ever. And maybe someday, we will have campaign finance reform. Wouldn't that be nice? So it isn't all about the money. Wouldn't that be fucking nice? I know Major Ojeda talks about this, that if we, going forward in 2028, in 2026, of course, winning the House back or whatever, in 2028, if we can, get the White House and the Senate and the House, that we might be able to get some meaningful legislation through, like campaign finance reform, like overturning Citizens United, like not letting super PACs just, donate as much money or be adjacent to basically a candidate and get unlimited amounts of money from all over the world and say that this is a super PAC, this is not the campaign, and yet they're doing everything for the campaign. That would be nice if we could have some campaign finance reform, make it public financing, limit the amounts that can be financed, limit the time, shorten the campaign season. We don't need a 2-year goddamn campaign, where it just seems like it never stops. It never ends. The campaigning never fucking stops. And you would think that even the politicians would appreciate that, so they don't have to dial for dollars every goddamn day. Let it be publicly financed, shorten down the campaign season, and just let the best candidates win. But of course, there are a lot of candidates that don't like that, basically on the Republican side, because they know that they're full of shit. They know that they're bad. Their policies or their main objectives are shit. They know that already. So anyhow, William says Joe Rogan is no longer the #1 podcaster. Midas Touch is now #1. Yay for Midas Touch. Glad to hear it. Swirl Girl says, I'm in one of those districts. I voted blue all the time, but some of these people love the orange buffoon. Some of them? I think a lot of them down there in Florida love that orange buffoon, unfortunately. But hopefully things will turn. And maybe people like Swirl Girl, you keep voting blue, tell all your friends, encourage all your friends, and do whatever you can. And that's how it starts, Roxanne Epstein says, tonight is another embarrassment about to happen with Dinky addressing some shit I forgot. Saw WWE chick is head of education, make kids fight for food, no doubt. Yeah. I thought the last one that he put in as the education head was bad. It's just gone from from bad to worse, you know, from Trump, from the first Trump administration to the second Trump administration, it's gone from bad to worse. Nick Rich says money in politics ain't the best place for it. WW says, I've tried to explain to you about the rural working poor. They don't have steady jobs. Some are elderly. Some are disabled, either physically or mentally. And yet you seem to think that the Republicans somehow give a fuck. The Republican Party somehow gives a fuck about those folks. You seem to think that, but they don't. I'll just, spoiler alert, the Republican Party does not give one fucking shit about the rural working poor. They don't give one fucking shit that they don't have steady jobs. They don't give one fucking shit about the elderly. They don't give one fucking shit about the disabled, either physically or mentally. So stop backing or promoting the Republicans because they don't give one fucking shit about any of those groups that you mentioned. Paul Burrows says peace out. Okay, Paul, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Hope to see you on the next one, on the next show. CN says, sorry, my laptop crashed. We've got to log in again. Okay. Do that. Yeah, Roxanne Epstein. Bessie DeVos looks normal now. What the fuck? Yeah. Nick Rich, MTN, great info, but the commercials are a bit much. Yeah, that's the one thing I think that turns me off too, is all those commercials and everything. And I understand, you know, you want to make money and everything, but what do they have? Like, are they up to 3 million subscribers? I mean, I don't know, man. Hey, John from Las Vegas is here. Good to see John. Good to see you in the chat. John from Las Vegas says Republicans always find end runs around any campaign reform. If we had public financing, I'm not saying it'd be perfect. Maybe they would find something, but we got to do something. We can't keep it the way it is. We can't keep things like Citizens United. We can't let all this dark money have such an easy access to presidential or even other campaigns for that matter. But to just say, well, they're always going to find a way around it. We can't just throw our hands up in the air and give up. We got to try something. I believe. Anyhow. W says, no, John, I don't. I never said that, but it is the Republican business owner that gives them jobs. Well, good. Then good. What are they crying about? If these Republican business owners are so magnanimous or so great, then what the fuck are they complaining about? What are you complaining about then? W, they don't care about parties. They care about money. Everybody cares about money. Democrat or Republican. We all need money to survive. This is a capitalistic society. We all need money to pay our rent, to buy food, for our transportation, for our education. So I don't know what your fucking point is. These so-called Republican business owners are giving them jobs. How do you know they're Republican? Do you go get a job and you go, are you a Republican, sir? What the fuck? No one cares. No one really cares if your employer is a Republican or a Democrat. If he's giving you a fucking paycheck, if you're earning a paycheck through him, all you care about is getting that fucking paycheck. WW, they vote the way they think will make the most money. And yet, are they, according to you, they're still complaining? So maybe the way they're voting isn't working then. Maybe they should try to vote for Democrats, maybe just to see. Maybe it should be like, I've been voting for Republicans and I can't get a job, or this job sucks, or the pay really sucks. So at some point, maybe they should say, you know what, maybe I should vote for Democrats. Maybe my pay will go up. Maybe we'll get some better jobs in here, because I've been voting for Republicans and it still fucking sucks. Nick Rich says, if every subscriber gave just $1 a month to any monetized YouTuber, they could expand their influence quicker. Hey, I think you're onto something there, Nick. WW, they voted for Uncle Joe in 2020. Okay, so this, I think you're just talking about Illinois, the rural Illinois voter, I guess. I guess that's what you're talking about. They voted for Biden, apparently, but they didn't see any change fast enough. They didn't get, so they voted for Trump now? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Did they expect change to be like that? I don't know. Did they really think that going back, did they not learn how were things under when Trump was president, just 4 years earlier? Just the term prior to Biden. Were things so great then under Trump that they said, fuck this Biden dude, let's go back to Trump? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Because if that's what you're trying to tell me, I'm going to call bullshit. WW, the rural poor did not fare well but they fared well under Trump in 2016 to 2020? Is that what you're trying to tell me? How did they do under Trump? That's what I want to know the first time around. Was it so good that they said, we got to get a Trump back in here, man? Things were so good. Yeah, I had about 3 people down the street that I know that died from COVID, and another guy at work died of COVID. In fact, then there was no work at all. But those are good times, man. Trump sent me a check. Remember that? Yeah. That's probably what it was. If they thought they had a good time under Trump, it's because Trump sent them a check. Well, Biden sent checks out too, by the way. WW, I give plenty of money to YouTubers. They still hate me. Look at John. He's known for me for years and blocks me. Well, I think I blocked one of your puppet accounts. Okay, you've got like 4 of them. I think I blocked one. If you like, if you I could block all 4 of them if you want, but I think I blocked, and you are probably one of the only people I've blocked. I think there was another one that I accidentally blocked. Well, not yours. It was, remember that one guy? Remember Jolie, that one dude? Forget his name now, but he was a real asshole too. But I didn't really mean to block that guy. But I think I did. And then I think I blocked one of your sock puppet accounts. Is that what they call it? W. So I don't know what you're crying about. I mean, 1 out of 4 ain't bad. You still got 3 going. Mr. Fox says, I think we should listen to Malcolm Nass before it's too late. Yeah, he's got hair on fire. And if he's got hair on fire, then yeah, you should stand up, take notice of him. Keith Police says, disrupting Social Security payments will cause chaos. Chaos is the point. And it will also that might cause rioting in the streets. Now, there might be a lot of walkers and a lot of little scooters and like little hover around type scooters. But there will be some people hitting the streets, I think. Brooklyn says, please stop reading WW out loud. Marsha says, BS, they vote the way they're told to. Thankfully, I escaped the Republican generational voting in my family as soon as I was old enough to vote. Why? Book learning and having compassion for others. Good for you, Marsha. Good to break the chain there. Don Newsom says the S&P 500 extended its recent loss today, with global automakers, cruise lines, tech companies, retailers, and other businesses coming under great pressure. I feel like my shirt is askew. I don't know. I think I made it worse. I don't know. Did I make it worse? Let's see. I feel like it's just not, like the neck part is not even. Or maybe I should just face the camera more evenly. Maybe that's the thing. I am at an angle. I'm just afraid I'm going to knock the whole thing down. Why am I now, 2 hours into the show, now I'm making the adjustments? Anyhow, all right, guys. So speaking of 2 hours into the show, Fancy, do you miss your collars now, John? You mean my collared shirts? Do I miss them? Well, I guess I do, because I feel like my neck hole is uneven. Look at that. It looks uneven. I don't know. Is it this side? No, it needs to go this way. What's going on with me? I need a collared shirt. Keith Philippe's here, by the way. Good to see Keith. Keith says, just bought a hat that says, revolt wisely. All right. Roxanne says, askew shirt. Oh, no, that's funny. Yeah, my shirt is all askew. Nick Rich, what's this unblock thingy? I don't know. Well, I couldn't figure it out either, because I think I did block. What was it? Stinky? What was that guy's name? Stinky Wise Ass, or whatever his name was? I don't know. WW, wisdom is the key. Uncle Joe tried to be wise and kind. How did that do him? Well, I know. It got him 81 million votes in the 2020 election. He would have won. I believe he would have won if he'd stayed in. Regardless of George Clooney and Nancy Pelosi and all his other assholes that wanted him to step down, and regardless of his looking really horrible in that debate, I think if he'd stayed in, I think he would have won. I really, in my heart of hearts, and a lot of you in the chat probably agree with me, I believe he would have won. He might not have won by 8 million votes this time, but as long as he won, as long as he won the Electoral College, I don't care if he won by 1 fucking vote, he would have won. I believe. Josh, any new collared shirts? Not yet. I haven't gone shopping yet. I only have 3, and I've been just recycling the 3. You know, I need to go make time and go get some more collar. I want to have. My goal is to have like 20. I don't know. Actually, I don't think it was a goal. I just said it was a goal, and then I was trying to think of a goal on the spot there. I don't know, 10, 15, 20, 12. I'm only going to be working 3 days a week, so I don't think I need 12, but I need more than 3. Non-useful, I'm getting in the storm cellar. I'll stay on as long as I can. Oh, be careful if you're in the storm area. The thunderstorms are coming, and tornadoes or whatever is coming. Be careful. Silly Wonka, yeah. Yes, Jolie. Remember that guy was an asshole, but I don't think I meant to block him, but I think I blocked him or something. I don't know. Something came up. I remember trying to look at it, but he was never on my block list. That was the thing. So I never did. I don't think I did block him. I don't know what happened. I still don't know. And I'm convinced that Silly Wonka it has showed up in other various names since then. Because there's this one person, it has the same MO as Silly Wonka. That shows up from time to time. And I'm like, I think that's Silly Wonka, even though I couldn't remember his name. Talk about, sock puppet accounts. I think Silly Wonka probably has a whole bunch of them. If he's even still around, I don't know. Non-useful, what the fuck, motherfucker? Get to 20 Trucker John memberships. Thank you, non-useful. You motherfucker. And when I say that, I mean it affectionately. Thank you, non-useful. I appreciate that so much. That's a great support to the show, a great help to the show. And look at there, it gets people in here. And here's, I like reading the list. Who got it? We got Stacy McCann got one. Jenny Faye Muppet got one. Owen, I've seen Owen in here before. Not today, but has seen before. Peace Mama got one. El Stinko Farce got one. Amy O'Connor, Anna Kavar, Bob Carmody got one. Good to see Bob there. Peggy Dias was gifted a membership. Stephanie B2. I haven't seen Stephanie B2 in a while, so maybe that'll bring Stephanie back. And Megam got one. Teresa TAK. Where's Teresa? I haven't seen Teresa in a while. Andy was gifted one. Paul Waterman. Jonathan Black. Human F Being. I've seen Human F Being in here before, but not recently. Alice McGee. WTF Dad Shoes. OG Adam Westish got one. Look at there. I haven't seen Adam in a while, so maybe Adam will come back by. Neja got one. So that's pretty cool. Thank you, Don Useful. I do appreciate you for that. Maybe that'll bring some folks in and come and hang out with us on some of these shows, and be interesting to see if they have anything to say in the chat. And it's always good to get more voices, more perspectives in here. So I appreciate you for doing that. But there was somebody who made a comment. I think it was Philly 3000 made a comment on one of my videos or something. I saw it yesterday, I think. And apparently they got gifted a membership from, I forget who it was. It might have been Fancy or somebody. And they said, I don't want the membership. Can you take it back, please? Can you, whatever. Because I don't even want to be here. I don't want to listen. I don't, whatever. They were just some real pissy little thing. Now, I didn't respond because I'm like, I don't know if I'm giving the time of day. But basically, the response to that is, it will just fall off. You're not paying for it. And at the end of 30 days or whatever it is, if you don't want to renew it, it'll just fall off. So don't fucking worry about it. You don't have to be here. You don't have to come here. It was gifted to you by it was all random. No one chooses who. It's just a complete random thing. So if you don't want the membership, just don't worry. It'll just fall off by itself. You don't have to come here. You don't have to be here, whatever. That's my response to the Philly 3000. And if you have any other issues with that, take it up with YouTube, because I got nothing to do with that. I don't decide who gets it. I don't have any way of taking it off early. It will just naturally fall off after 30 days. You don't have to renew it. You don't have to do anything. And so that's my response to Philly 3000. If you are watching, you little pissy bitch, you don't have to take it. You don't have to be here. You don't have to watch it. And it doesn't cost you anything. It'll fall off at the end of 30 days. And and like I said, if you have any issues with that, take it up with YouTube. All right. For the rest of you, though, welcome. A lot of you aren't here. You might jump in at some point because you will get it. You will. The one thing that might be intrusive, that you might think is intrusive, is you will get an email notification from YouTube that says you have been awarded or whatever a membership from the Trucker John channel. That's it, and it will tell you it'll tell you basically what I just said, that on 30 days from today, if you want to renew, you can renew. If not, it'll it'll just drop off. So anyhow, thank you, non-useful. That's great, and I hope that we do get some folks to come and stay with us, and hang out with us on future shows. Look at that, Brooklyn, a member. Hi, truckers, love you. Hey, Brooklyn, a member for 2 months. Thank you, Brooklyn. You get a yippee from Brooklyn to Brooklyn. 471, Brooklyn, New York. Good. But thank you, Brooklyn. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you being a member for 2 months. And I hope you'll stick with it. Happy Truckiversary, as Jolie says to you. And look at there, Chris Doug, a member for 2 months also. No place I'd rather be. Chris Doug. Yippee to Chris Doug for being a member, a good buddy member. Thank you so much. And a lot of times I think Chris Doug and I are on the same wavelength. Because I'll say something, I'm always behind in the chat. Maybe subconsciously I've read it already. I know, because I'll say something, and then I'll get down and I'll see Chris Doug's post, and it's almost what I just said. So, anyhow, Chris Doug, thank you for being a member. Mad Max says no response was the correct response, TJ. Those sort of people can eat shit, for fuck's sake. And look at there, Brooklyn, gifted 5 memberships. Brooklyn, look at you. Thank you so much. Yippee to Brooklyn. 5 more memberships gifted out. Appreciate you so much. Help grow the show and support the show. So I do thank you. And look at here, Sunflower Sky got one. I am Antifa, lucky recipient. BC Hollis. Patrick Linda Toronto got one. And NMKC Oriema got the 5th one. So thank you, Brooklyn, so much. I appreciate you. More members in here, and maybe folks will come in and check out the chat, check out the show. And Jolie says a lot of people come in after getting a membership and say it's because they got an email at WW. Oh, mid-thread. Maybe WW was bitching and complaining about emails. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, typical bitching by WW. Nick Rich gifted a membership. Thank you, Nick. On Nick's birthday, and Nick has the heart and kindness to send out a gift on his birthday. Send out a gift to me and to the show and to this person, Wayne Goen, who I believe I have seen pop in here from time to time. So thank you so much, Nick. Yippee to Nick Rich. Again, happy birthday to Nick Rich. Thank you for giving on your birthday. That's so nice of you. Chris Doug, $4.99 super sticker. Thank you, Chris Doug. Yippee to Chris Doug. Thank you for helping to support the show. It's always a great way to support. And you can support folks without spending a dime. Like, subscribe, share. Doesn't cost you a dime. Those are great ways to support. And you can also do the super stickers. You can gift the memberships. We got Buy Me a Coffee, all that stuff. So there's multiple ways, whichever way you can. I appreciate it all. I really, really do. Roxanne Epstein says, loving gifted memberships today. Let's grow, yippee. And we are at 3,800 subscribers. I'm hoping all the people, the new members, will come in and subscribe. I really would love to get to 4,000 subscribers. That would be so awesome if we could do that as quick as possible. I'm just trying to get to 4,000. I mean, I don't want to stop at 4,000, but I mean, you know what I mean. Let's see. Happy birthday. Everyone's saying happy birthday to Nick again. Janelle is here. Janelle Walker. Hello, Janelle. If I didn't say hi earlier, hello to Janelle. Good to see you. Nick Rich, you guys are making my day. Thanks a bunch. Nick, I wish we could just have a big party somewhere. Wouldn't it be cool? Like if we could just meet up and all meet somewhere in Nick Rich's town and have a birthday cake, that would be so cool. See, if I was a billionaire like Elon Musk, that's the kind of shit that I would do. And you don't even have to be a billionaire to do that, by the way. But I mean, I wouldn't be like saying, I want to take over the country and I want to buy this presidency And I want to just shut down as much of these social programs as possible so that I can there's more money for the government to give me contracts. Because right now, I've only got $29 billion worth of contracts. I really want it to be $100 billion or $500 billion or, I don't know, $1 trillion. Why stop at $1 billion? You know, that's the kind of shit Elon Musk does with his being rich. If I was rich, I'd be like, party at Nick's. Let's get in the plane. I'm like, get in the plane and we're just gonna go to Nick Rich's place and have a fucking party, man. That's what I would do with my money. If I was like a multimillionaire or something, you know what I mean? But they say money changes you. I wonder if that's true. Let's say if I won a super lottery and it was like $1 billion or something, or even hundreds of millions of dollars. I wonder if I would just become a total asshole. I know sometimes I'm like a partial asshole, but I wonder if that would make me just a total asshole. And then you guys would go, remember you said you were going to do like parties and stuff. And I'd be like, who the fuck are you? I don't know. I mean, I hope that's not the case. I hope I wouldn't become that. I hope I would. So, hey, man, it's documented. It's on the video here or the live stream. So you guys got to hold me to it. If I ever become a multi-millionaire or a billionaire, you know, you got to hold me to it now. We're having birthday parties, man. I'm going to buy a private jet. I don't care if I have to buy Epstein's old jet. Ugh. Have it steam cleaned and power washed and rechristened. The Trucker John Special or whatever. The Trucker John Birthday Special. Birthday plane. But yeah, you guys got to hold me to it now. Because it's out there. I put it out there. I can't let the money change me. Cian's got to go. Big boy woke up from his nap. Gonna give him dinner and all that good stuff. So hey, Cian, thanks for being here. It's about time to end the show. We're 2 hours 15 minutes. So yeah, we'll be ending the show here pretty quick. Pam J, we'll come live with you. Yeah, we'll have that big. We'll do like Hal, buy one of those silos and make I don't know, condos out of it or something. Brooklyn, 1 million collared shirts. Yes, everyone gets a collared shirt. You get a collared shirt, and you get a collared shirt, and you get a collared shirt. No open toes, though. No open toes shoes. All right? For the love of God. Nick Rich 222. I'm a minute behind you, Nick. All right, guys. Yeah, House Sparks is coming on today at 3 p.m. Pacific time. So I'll see you guys in the chat. I'll say hi to you, probably in the chat there. Oh, you know what? I might be driving, though, actually. I'll probably be on the road driving the taxi by then. So I might not be able to say hi to you, but know that I'm there in spirit. And then we'll be back here, right here, Trucker John channel on Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And I have been thinking about whether or not I should just drive on Thursday or still do the pre-show, House Park pre-show on Thursday. I guess I can do the show because, like I said, I don't want to do too much over the average of hours because I'll just run out of hours. I only get 749 hours in a 6-month period. So I guess I could still do the pre-show on Thursday. And then I probably won't drive because by the time I'm done with that, I don't like getting started too late in the day. Because that means I got to drive till 1 or 2 or 3 in the morning, and I'm not doing that. So yeah, I guess we'll still have a Thursday show, a Thursday afternoon show. Let's count on it. All right, guys. So I'll see you there Tuesday, 9 a.m. Pacific time and 3 p.m. Pacific time for the House Parks pre-show hangout. And see you guys around. Mad Mac, make money and drive. Yeah, I'm going to get out there, make some money so I can buy some more collared shirts and hopefully not have my neck hole be askew. Thank you guys so much. Let me go back real quick. I can look at the fan funding, see what everyone did. Michael McAndrews, $10 super sticker right off the bat, trying to tell me to turn on the mic. If you watch the replay, 10 minutes of silence. Some of you might say that's the best 10 minutes of the show. I don't know. AM with a $5 super sticker. We had Roxanne Epstein, 99-cent super sticker. Brooklyn, New York with a 99-cent super sticker. Fancy gifted a membership. Non-mutual, 20 memberships gifted. Brooklyn comes in as a 2-month member. Chris Doug, a 2-month member. Truckiversaries, I guess we call them. Brooklyn then gives 5 memberships. Nick Rich comes back in with another gifted membership. Chris Doug with a $4.99 super sticker. Thank you guys so much. You guys are so awesome for the support. And everyone else, thank you so much for the liking, the subscribing, the sharing. We're at 3,800. Let's try to get to 4,000 in the near future of subscribers. That would be great. That would be awesome if we could do that. Marsha says, thank you. Thank you, Marsha. No, I thank you for being here, for contributing in the chat, liking, subscribing, sharing, all that good stuff. Nick says, does that have anything to do with ex-Jab Jeff Curry? I don't know about that. Oh, Nick says 56, nope. Jeff is here. I didn't even know Jeff was here. Thanks for being here, Jeff. And I guess that's it. Of course, as is my tradition, I always like to end the show with words of wisdom. Something you guys can live by and get you through the day, get you through these tough times. Words of wisdom. Get some paper, get a pen, pencil, whatever, crayons, whatever you use, and write this down because you're going to want to keep this, okay? So, all right, you guys ready? Ready to write this down? Okay, here's the Trucker John words of wisdom of the day, and here we go. So, guys, just remember that
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes, but if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. All screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I tried to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid. But doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where right here on the Trucker John live stream. Know it's time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gone. rage on the road he rides, live streaming all through the nights. From politics to pop culture he speaks. No topic is off limits, nothing is weak. From Vegas to the highways, he'll never tire. Shouting about food, talking about desire. He's the rebel of the asphalt, the king of the night. With a microphone in his hand, he's ready to ignite. Freedom is his fuel, passion in his soul. Gotta express himself, gotta take control. Moving through the country, keeping it real, no filter, no holding back, nothing to conceal. Rolling down the highway in my rusty old rig. I'm a retired trucker, but my spirit's still big. Living in Vegas, where the lights never sleep. Broadcasting my thoughts for the world to keep. From politics to pop culture, I've got it all. Sharing my views, no matter how big or small. Talking about food, the movies and bugs, shining a light on all the social issues. No shrugs, I've driven through the desert, seen the city so bright. But now I'm living in a different kind of fight. From my apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free. For free.